Hi, I'm Jane Larson, and I'm joined by Sarah Lavalette. We are disability professionals, but we also know what it means to be a parent, a relative, or a friend of a young adult with a disability. We hope this webinar will explain your role as your son or daughter transitions from high school to college.
One of the most difficult transitions between high school and college is not actually experienced by the student. Whether or not your son or daughter has a disability, letting go can be difficult. But in the words of a famous poet and philosopher, there are two things children should get from their parents: roots and wings.
In high school, you have access to information about your child, from what they ate for lunch to what grades they got. Not only do you have access to this information, but you also have the power to make decisions on behalf of your child. You need to be involved because you know more about your child's disability than anyone else.
However, when your young adult goes to college, you have limited access to information, and the information you do get often will come directly from your son or daughter. Your student becomes responsible for their own decisions. The focus of the college is on the student. In high school, parents may be involved in every phase of planning for their child's education and are expected to sign off on important documents such as IEPs.
Some parents have had to advocate very hard in the best interest of their child to make sure they get what they need.
And it may seem like a sudden change when you are no longer even consulted on your son or daughter's educational plans.
High schools may provide comprehensive services that go beyond academics, such as personal goals for getting to class on time or helping manage the course load, and vocational goals, such as attending a college or a job fair.
Whereas in college, other than physical access issues, most accommodations focus on what happens in the classroom and how students utilize materials or take tests. Other accommodations might include access to services and activities of the college. The college will not make sure your student gets to class on time, eats well, or gets a job on or off campus.
While still in high school, in addition to preparing for college admission requirements, prepare your student for being part of a college community. Skills needed include social, interrelational skills for making friends and working with others, organization and time management, being able to manage multiple priorities and get things done on time, money management, staying on a budget, medical needs such as taking medication or knowing what to do in an emergency, eating and exercise, healthy eating and regular activity, making time for this self-care. Personal care includes personal hygiene and knowing how to take care of laundry. Self-advocacy skills include developing self-awareness. This includes knowing about his or her disability and how it affects them. Learn how to discuss needs. Your child needs to know what works for them and why. Learn when and how to disclose disability. There is a time and a place to discuss disability. One of the reasons for the College Disability Office is so students can have privacy regarding disability. The decision to disclose belongs to your son or daughter. They need to have a sense of when this is appropriate. Telling a professor about a disability may be okay once they are comfortable and have a reason to do so. It is usually not done at the first meeting. Practice, practice, practice. This is the way to get comfortable with talking about oneself.
As the initial meeting with Disability Services approaches, you can do the following. Hold family discussions about college and disability services. Encourage your son or daughter's self-awareness and self-advocacy. Help them understand the difference between needs and wants, and rehearse disability disclosure with your son or daughter. Encouraging self-awareness and self-advocacy requires pulling back at some point. Just as students need to know when to step up, Parents need to know when to step back. Here are some tips for the initial disability services meeting with your son or daughter. Before the meeting, help them prepare and practice. Don't be insulted if you're not invited to the initial meeting. You might be included, and you might not. If you are invited, let your son or daughter be in charge. Expect the conversation and eye contact to be directed at your son or daughter. Don't interrupt and don't contradict them during the meeting. Hold your feedback until the end of the meeting. This is your young adult's time to take charge.
While in college, keep regular contact with your son or daughter. Regular contact, but not constant contact. Just because you can with modern technology doesn't mean you should. Let your son or daughter determine what that is. Be there to listen and let them know that you support them. Oftentimes, your student just needs your support and reassurance. Avoid overreacting. Often students will relate a situation from their own point of view. This does not mean that this is the reality. Sometimes it helps to ask questions such as, how do you know you are failing? Did your instructor say something? Or did you fail a test? If you are told that everything is okay, ask questions about what assignments your student is working on, or ask about the class. Encourage your son or daughter to problem solve. Ask questions before making comments, such as, what do you think? Or how would you handle this situation? Of course, celebrate their successes. This is also a time for your child to shine. Let them know you are proud of what they do. Higher education changes you. In addition to developing valuable life skills, your son or daughter will have an opportunity to experience greater independence, meet new people, explore their interests, and increase their understanding of the world